I'm sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch it. As soon as I remember what it was.
This is order. Stabilize. Solidify! Be still! Stabilize! Cascade!
You must be visiting from Liyue to participate in the Iridori Fest, huh? Is it Paimon, or have we met?
Yes, in fact we have. I'm Shu from Feiyun Commerce Guild. Aboard this ship we have calligraphers, painters, and even players of Theater Mechanicus. The inventor of Theater Mechanicus previously came to the Feiyun Commerce Guild seeking investment. We heard that they'd be demonstrating the game and letting people...
Oh, speaking of which...
Master, he's,
Whoa! Xingqiu's just sitting there,
What? Oh. It's the Traveler in Paimon. I presume you're...
Oh, we aren't actually guests. We're actually guides for the Iridori Festival.
Please, no need to worry. I was a little too caught up in a novel on the voyage. Yes, now that we've arrived, the Kanjo Commission will likely wish to... Huh? That's odd. There was a piece of paper underneath my bag.
Ooh, let's hunt! Oh, there's no doubt about it. It's from the same series as the story we found before.
The story you found before?
Oh, yeah! In the warehouse down by the, Yeah, that's it! A friend of ours, if you can find one of the stories.
Wait a moment. So you mean that...
Hey! It's hard coming up with stuff on the spot.
There's a chance of meeting Calx in person?
Huh?
Really? That's wonderful! I knew that Calc just a few days later. Word then came. It is a most rare opportunity.
Don't worry, Shincho. Even also, we heard that Calx
So you've already heard. To be honest, my works have drawn... Calx is not only a skilled artist, but when I looked at the art, the brushwork did not even look the slightest bit rushed. His work... Oh my! I was beginning to get carried away there. Let us depart. Quickly now.
Luckily, the idea of meeting Albedo managed to draw Shincho's attention and keep the situation under wraps. Let's just hope we don't let anything slip while meeting Albedo.
See inside. It's the day after. Traveler, Paimon, how are you? And who is...
You must be Calx. It's a great pleasure to finally meet you. Forgive me. It's rude of me to introduce myself by my pen name when meeting in person.
And you may call me Albedo, then.
No, that would be most...
Why not? Seeing as we're both friends of the Traveler, it'd be more convenient for... Besides, we've already corresponded with each other many times before. In fact...
It's not just you, Albedo. We haven't seen Shincho act this awkward before either.
You guys, it's certainly not good taste. Oh, by the way, we happened to find a story from the poem hunt competition at the docks.
Poem?
You know, that thing where we have to find pieces of paper with stories of the five Kasen? Venti found one.
Huh? Oh, yes, that's right. Oh, I understand the story now. Thank you. It's very helpful.
Splendid. Though...
If all of you are free, why don't we discuss...
well...
Do you have other plans?
No, not at all.
Shimura's. Unfortunate.
That's perfectly fine with me. But I must first unpack my...
Some...
Huh? No way! Paimon thinks we acted well.
No, Paimon, I'm not referring to us.
Huh? Shincho's suspicious. Hey, what?
Paimon, you read the poem, right? Although it may seem confusing to Shincho on its own, what if we read it together with a
Read them together? Let's see. Suiko lost Aoi no Okina's poem in a drunken stupor. So, Aoi no Okina recovered the poem and gave it to some mysterious... Huh? Wait a minute. Could today's story be hinting that the one who... No way! That can't be right!
And that is precisely the point of suspicion. If Shincho had only just arrived in Inazuma, how could he recommend Shimura's Chazuke? Moreover, he didn't raise any questions when I suggested another place because of the windy weather.
Are you saying that Shincho has already been in Inazuma?
Yes, that is indeed my conclusion.
But how could Shincho be the book thief? His mission is to fight...
Calm down, Paimon. Even though this is the first time I've met Shincho in person, I think there must be some deeper motive at play here.
Oh? Could you...
It's difficult to say at this point, but I'll be relying on your assistance to get to the bottom of this matter. Good. Then let's head to Uyu Restaurant. I don't see anyone suspicious.
Oh,
First, we must ascertain, since we're still waiting for him.
Hot Springs has magic powers to heal your body and soul.
Albedo, what should we talk about when Shincho gets...
I will try to break the ice by talking about our work on novels and illustration. If he really is hiding something, then he might feel even more nervous than we do. If we start by talking about our work creating novels, perhaps...
Oh, come to think of it, Shincho mentioned that he'd like to thank you for finishing the illustrations on time. He said they looked amazing despite...
Is that so?
The last phase of the Irodori Festival is when they release the all-new publications. The one I'm really looking...
That's right. A signed first edition is going to become quite the collectible.
I've seen Genyu's signature before. His handwriting is super neat. He must be really diligent about his style.
He'll be there in person on the day of the release, so we'll get...
Wait a minute, did you just hear that? Not only will Shincho be signing now...
Hello there. What can I get for you?
Hi, do you have
Why, of course. I'd personally recommend our freshly caught seafood. It's been...
So the weather at sea has been...
It sure has. A few guests...
Oh, this might be some use...
That was delicious. Inazuman cuisine largely consists of fresh sea...
That's good. We were worried you might not have an appetite because you didn't sleep well. Now's our chance. Let's talk to Shincho and see if he says anything useful. Maybe we could start by asking him about the journey.
Well, I've never embarked on such a long journey before. Though I was quite excited when we set off, the long days at sea quickly became most monotonous.
Speaking of the journey, did anything noteworthy happen along the...
Well, to be honest, I spent most of the trip with my nose in a novel.
Well, that didn't tell us much. By the way, Shincho, what book were you reading?
Oh, I was reading a novel called Pretty Please Kitsune Guji. It was sent to me by my editor.
Didn't you feel dizzy while reading on the ship?
It was nothing I couldn't handle.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything suspicious about what he said so far.
To be honest, there wasn't much to see. Just water all around, morning to night. The sheer monotony. So, when the peak of Mount Yogo finally appeared in the distance as we approached the islands of Inazuma, everyone However, the ship sailed along at a crawling pace. It took a whole day from the time we saw the mountain peak to the time we docked.
Paimon didn't catch anything suspicious so far. Oh, right! If it took an entire day to reach the docks, then it would have been pouring rain at the time they saw the top of the mountain.
We learned a couple of things from his account, but we still require more evidence.
While it is entertaining to read novels, writing one is an endeavor of its own. You must give great thought to every detail, from the layout of the plot to the rhythm of the lines. And even when you have come up with interesting content, there's still no guarantee that it will be to your liking.
I couldn't agree more. Whether it's writing a book, creating art, or studying alchemy, seldom can you really feel joy after seriously delving into the work.
Xingqiu and Albedo are getting into some deep topics now, but nothing suspicious has come up.
Speaking of illustrations, Albedo, I've long wished to express my sincerest gratitude for providing the illustrations in my novel. My novel didn't sell well in Liyue, so I must admit that I had some reservations regarding its potential. Yet you've consistently managed to select the most important scene of the chapter for your illustrations.
Thank you. However, I took some risks in the illustrations, so... Light novel illustrations are typically centered around the characters, but this time, I adopted a different approach in the illustration for the last chapter.
Well, that scene was intended to depict the change in the world.
Doesn't sound like anything suspicious has come up so far.
No, there was a crack in his alibi. My illustrations were sent for printing the moment they arrived in Inazuma. Xingqiu, we have something very important to ask you now.
Oh? Why the solemn looks all of a sudden? Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Mr. Okazaki told us earlier that actually the weather at sea was very bad these last few days. So when you said that everyone came running to the deck to see Mount Yogo, that couldn't have happened!
On top of that, the latest installment of A Legend of Sword will only be revealed at the Irodori Festival. Even we, the creators, haven't received a sample copy. If that's the case, how could you know what my illustrations look like?
Well...
The jig's up, Xingqiu. You were already in Inazuma before today, weren't you? Are you in some kind of danger but can't tell us the truth? Don't worry. The Traveler and Albedo are no pushovers. We can help you.
No, please. You misunderstand me. I suppose my lack of sleep is inevitably taking its toll on my mind. I didn't notice for a moment that you were testing me at all. I did in fact come to Inazuma early to handle some things. Let me consider how to explain this. Oh, this is most embarrassing.
Oh, well, if this isn't a coincidence, I didn't expect to see everyone here.
Huh? Tone-deaf Bard, what are you doing here?
I heard that the owner of this establishment has some fine-aged wines. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to taste them.
Paimon knew you couldn't possibly be up to anything good.
Says who? In fact, I come as the bearer of good tidings. I just bumped into Kujo Sara a moment ago. She said that the Tenryou Commission has apprehended the criminal who stole all those copies of A Legend of Sword. You needn't worry about it any longer.
Huh? The criminal who stole A Legend of Sword?
Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Oh no. The person they apprehended. Was it by chance an editor named Onodera?
Apologies, Kujo Sara didn't mention a name. But I saw her taking someone toward Hanamizaka.
Everyone, it's too late to explain. We must make haste and rescue Onodera. Wait, Onodera is innocent.
Oh, so you must be the author of A Legend of Sword. I didn't expect to see others tagging along with you.
Anyway, you mustn't take him away. I can explain everything.
No need to worry, Zhenyu. I've just explained everything to Madame Kujo, and Kuroda has testified for me.
Yes. In fact, we were just getting ready to leave.
Oh, phew. What a relief. Wait a minute. Does everyone else here already know?
Well, to be precise, we had dispatched 2 additional squads here, in order to prevent the suspect from escaping.
Shinjo looks pretty flustered. What exactly is going on here?
Though it's most embarrassing, it appears quite a few people are aware of the situation now. There's no use keeping it a secret. In the end, I'm the one responsible for this whole predicament.
No, Zhenyu. It's only appropriate that I take responsibility for this. Everyone, please let me explain. For the Iridori Festival, I recommended the idea of selling newly released novels signed by the authors. Not only was this the first major project I was in charge of since joining the Yae publishing house, but Lady Yae also gave me a lot of support. However, I did not discuss our plans with the authors in advance. As a result, it caused a great deal of trouble for Zhenyu.
Yes, to be frank, calligraphy is not my strong point, so signing events are really not my forte.
Even though such an event will be difficult for Zhenyu, after telling him how important the plans were to me, he immediately boarded a ship to Inazuma to come up with a solution. So these past few days, Zhenyu has been actively practicing his handwriting. However, it takes time to sign each book, and we realized the time we reserved for the signing was not nearly enough. So I came up with the idea of moving the new books from the warehouse to my place. That way, Zhenyu could use these few days to sign them all. I thought everything would work out without a hitch. I never expected that someone would immediately realize that the books were missing from the warehouse. To make things worse, I was on vacation and staying with Zhenyu in my house these past few days. I had no idea that the situation had turned into such a huge mess. All of this happened because I wanted to prove myself through this event.
Onodera, I agreed to your proposal because I didn't want the readers to know of my unsightly handwriting. Also, I knew that Onodera had been misled by one of my prior signatures. At a previous event, the Yae publishing house had requested I practice tirelessly for an entire day to finally deliver a stylish and elegant signature. But looking back on it now, I had dug myself into a hole by delivering that nice thing.
Hey, come on, you two. Loosen up a little. The theft was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding. Besides, everyone has something they do not want.
Yeah, that's right. All that matters is that Shinjo and...
Onodera, I think you should explain the truth regarding the stolen books to the rest.
Yes, I understand.
We should probably be heading back to Rito as well. Let's...
Onodera, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be on leave these few days?
I'm very sorry for all the trouble that I've caused.
Yes, Onodera, but why didn't you tell everyone earlier? If you had told us, we could have thought of some ways to help you.
That's right. We're a team, and we should be helping each other in tough situations like this.
Let's leave the past behind us now. Our first priority is to help Zhenyu with his signatures. How is your progress so far?
My progress is not what I had hoped for. Even after working through the night these past few days, I've only finished perhaps 1/10 of the signatures.
Oh, no wonder Shinjo looked so sleepy today.
I understand. Murata, go back to Yae Publishing House and get Aratani to book a room on the second floor of the Uyu restaurant. We'll be using it for Zhenyu's emergency calligraphy lessons.
Yes, Mr. Hirayama. It just so happens that my brother is a calligrapher, Should I ask him to lend his assistance as well?
Yes, good idea. Ah, you've just reminded me. 2 calligraphers from Liyue arrived today. We've worked with them before, so I'll go and ask them to help out too.
It seems I'm really in for it now.
No need to worry, Zhenyu. I'm sure you can do it. Didn't you finish the last chapter of your novel in just 1 week's time?
Yes, but writing novels and learning calligraphy are 2 entirely different skills.
Even though Xingqiu still has to deal with his handwriting issue, Paimon somehow feels a little relieved now.
I always used to prefer working alone in my workshop, but I've come to realize that solving problems with others also has its merits.
We also owe a special ode of gratitude to the mysterious person who has been leaving important info for us along the way.
Huh? You mean whoever left behind those stories about the 5 Kasen?
Pardon me, but what are you talking about?
Oh, right. We haven't had a chance to explain things to Xingqiu yet.
I see. It appears that Onodera and I were spotted when we were moving the books. Albedo, may I ask you one thing? Are you able to include me in a portrait as well? Not only do I owe the successful resolution of today's incident to that story, but I also hope that I'll remember this lesson.
No problem. Considering the similarities between the portrait and the events that have taken place, your proposal is very reasonable.
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion, Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry. He knew nothing of this individual's true intentions. All he knew was that the poem had to do with an old acquaintance, Akahito.
Albedo really is something. He finished the portrait of Aoi no Okina in no time at all. Wonder how Xingqiu's calligraphy training is going at Uyu Restaurant. Hey, do you think whoever left those stories for us could be hiding somewhere? Oh, hello? Mr. Storywriter? Are you here? Could you please help Xingqiu with something? He's a friend of ours, and the release of his new book is super important to him. Oh, what's that sound? It was just a cat. Looks like it's getting late now. Well, let's go back and get some rest.
Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now... Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drink.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
Welcome home, almighty
Our
Shogun.
crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Ah.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
Welcome home, almighty Shogun.
Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
I'm sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch it.
This Jinyu everyone
As
keeps
soon as I
talking
remember what it was.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
Welcome home, almighty Shogun.
Ah.
Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Make sure you get in line early to buy your special edition drinks.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser Lord Kusanali. A nation blessing now 10% off.
Almighty Shogun.
Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Make sure you
Who
get
is
in
this
line early
Jinyu
to buy
everyone
your
keeps
special
talking
edition
about?
drinks.
Welcome home, almighty Shogun.
Everything's in place and they've taken the bait.
Enjoy the blessing of Lesser
Yes.
Lord Kusanali. A
Now
nation
to start
blessing now
reeling them
10%
in.
off. Our crowdsourcing competition is now underway. Take part and win prizes.
Ah.
Who is this Jinyu everyone keeps talking about?
Home, almighty Shogun.
It's already time for us to be at the docks. Let's go! The arrival schedule says ship stopover, 1 person. Does that mean we're only welcoming 1 guest today? Look! That figure on the wharf! It looks like Kazuha!
Greetings, traveler in Paimon. I heard there would be guides for the Iridori Festival, but I didn't expect it would be you two.
We didn't expect to see you either! Returning as a guest for the Iridori Festival, no doubt.
I was a little surprised myself when I received the invitation. But after wandering the outside world for so long, it's good to have an opportunity to return to my homeland and pay respects to my old friends.
Kazuha, when we saw you in the distance just now, you seemed to be looking for something. What happened?
Ah, yes. You see, when I came off the boat with everyone just now, I suddenly heard light footsteps around me. I could tell they were not footsteps of a regular passenger. But by the time I turned around, the person had already disappeared. I only heard a splash come from below the pier. Even though I didn't manage to catch a glimpse of them, I found this strange piece of paper by my feet.
Oh, does the paper happen to have a poem written on it?
Huh. How did you know? Fascinating. It's almost hard to believe such things could happen. Sure, here it is. Please, have a look.
Last time, Aoi no Okina's poem and story this time basically says that Akihito got hit. Well, if Paimon were to rate today's story, it sounds pretty unfortunate.
I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with this story. I too was once wanted as a criminal by the shogunate. So I'm not all that different from...
But according to the story, Akihito was exiled by the shogun because of his wrongdoings. Huh? Traveler, what are you thinking about?
Ah, by the way, you mentioned that your friend has been struggling because he's unable to sign his name quickly, right? In Liyue and Inazuma, there is a saying, that which has been stamped. While sailing at sea, I sometimes carve things to...
Wow, that's an idea! Quick, let's go tell Albedo! Albedo, we figured out a way to help.
Interesting. Stamped seal, huh? Indeed, it is an efficient solution. If we use a stamp, then Xingqiu won't have to struggle with his handwriting anymore. However, since Xingqiu's signature has been previously revealed to the readers, it would seem... But I have another idea. Using a seal is a part of it, of course.
Welcome home, almighty Shogun. If you're tired from walking all around the festival, how about you sit right here and try my Inazuman snacks? walking all around the festival, how about you sit right here and try my Inazuman snacks?
I'm sure I've forgotten something. Not to worry, I'll simply send someone to fetch it. As soon as I remember what it was.
If you're tired from walking all around the festival, how about you sit right here and try my Inazuman snacks? Festivals always attract so many people.
Everything's in place and they've taken the bait. Yes. Now to start reeling them in.